You've been calling it confusion, but God calls it clarity. You're lying in bed at night, scrolling through old texts, replaying old memories, wondering how something that once felt so right now feels so off. And you keep telling yourself, maybe it's just a season, or maybe they'll come around, or maybe it's just me overthinking. But what if it's not just you overthinking? What if it's God underlining the silence you've been ignoring? Because here's the truth, peace doesn't leave without a reason. When God pulls his peace from a place, it's not to punish you, it's to protect you. You've been trying to fix what God never told you to carry. You've been trying to hold together what God has been gently and then forcefully pulling apart. And I know it's hard, I know it hurts, but pain is sometimes the echo of God's whisper saying, this isn't it. You keep praying for answers, but you've already received them. They just didn't look like what you expected. You thought an answer would be a clear voice from heaven or a dream at night, but sometimes God answers through absence. He answers through unease. He answers through that heavy feeling in your chest that something isn't right and hasn't been for a while. And the problem is, we confuse comfort with peace. Just because you're used to them doesn't mean they're good for you. Just because the connection feels familiar doesn't mean it's from God. Familiar pain is still pain. Familiar chaos is still chaos. You can't keep staying in dysfunction just because you've gotten used to it. You can't call it loyalty when it's actually bondage. The peace left a long time ago, but you stayed hoping, believing, convincing yourself that if you love harder, pray longer, give more of yourself, they'll finally see you. But the truth is, they saw you the whole time. They just didn't value what they saw. And God's not gonna let you stay in a place where your identity keeps getting starved. He loves you too much to let you keep shrinking just to fit into someone else's small view of who you are. So now, God is doing what you wouldn't. He's letting things fall apart. The conversations are dry. The energy is off. You feel like you're fighting alone. And deep down, you know this ain't what God promised you. Because the blessings of God come with peace, not pressure. God's hand will never call you to compromise your soul, but still, you keep going back. You keep remembering the good times. You keep romanticizing the potential. And maybe the most dangerous thing you can do is fall in love with what could be, when God is trying to show you what really is. So what do you do when the peace is gone but the memories remain? You trust God more than you trust your feelings. You believe the whisper of the Spirit over the noise of your loneliness. You let go of what's no longer growing so God can bring in what's meant to grow you. Because here's what nobody tells you. Peace is not passive. Peace is powerful. Peace is a person. And when he walks out, it's a sign you're staying somewhere he didn't build. You were not made to beg for what's already yours in Christ. You were not made to keep choosing someone who never chooses you back. And you were not made to call love what is really just fear wearing a mask. That's why you've been restless. That's why you've been irritable. That's why your spirit won't settle. Because peace has a sound, and this ain't it. So today, make a decision. Stop asking God to bring peace to a place he's already vacated. Stop asking for closure from someone who was never open. Stop clinging to what keeps costing you your joy. You don't need another apology. You don't need another sign. You just need to believe that when peace walks out, God is walking you into something better. You're not being abandoned, you're being aligned. You're not losing love, you're losing a lie that looked like it. And if peace left, maybe it's time you did too. You've been praying for a sign, but God's already sent 5. And still you're asking God, what do you want me to do? While standing in front of a door he's closed 10 times. The truth is, it's not that God hasn't spoken, it's that you didn't like the way he said it. He didn't speak with thunder this time. He didn't split the sky or send an angel to your bedroom. Instead, he let the same fight happen again. He let the same disrespect hit your heart. He let the same conversation leave you feeling small. Why? Because God doesn't always speak in new words. Sometimes he repeats the old ones louder. And here's the hard truth. When God repeats himself, It's not because he's being unclear. It's because you're not listening. You keep asking for clarity, but God gave you confirmation over and over. You saw the red flags. You felt the weight in your chest. You heard that little voice say, "This